So we're going to talk about embezzlement investigations. A lot of times when we talk to a client that has had an embezzlement event, we want to take a look at what are the threat levels for a potential company to be embezzled from or stolen from. First of all, companies have a flow of funds which is double your annual revenue. So if you're a $10 million company, you actually have $20 million of revenue flow at risk. You have the income side, and you also have your expense side, and any one of those sides can actually have embezzlement happen. There's a third method, which is debt, which means that if a client or an employee or an executive uses debt, that may even open up a third avenue of embezzlement. Any movement of money creates an exposure for diverting that cash asset. It's often hidden in the accounting to prevent easy discovery. Most times when an embezzlement or a fraud or a theft occurs in a company, it's somebody who has knowledge of the operations of the company. It may be an executive, it may be an employee. Sometimes it's an outsider like a vendor or a client that knows the inner workings of that company. The metrics will always have an indication of the fact that a fraud exists. There will be a percentage that's off. A cost of sale will be higher. Maybe a margin in a certain department will be off a little bit. The investigative analysis will always discover where the fraud is. It's important to reveal all the parties that are involved, not just catch the fraud and stop it. You want to find out all the parties who are part of it and the complete method. That way you can prevent that method from regrowing somewhere else, or maybe one of the parties that were part of it that don't get caught can start up this fraud again in another time, another place, maybe in another department. The motivation behind the fraud is crucial to determine as a management tool. In most cases, a potential fraudster or potential embezzler needs three elements to start the fraud. They need the financial need, some family event, medical emergency, something where they need the money. They need to be aware that the opportunity exists for them to steal, but more importantly, they need the motivation to say this is okay to do in this company. A lot of times that happens from management issues, maybe passed over per promotion, or feeling like they're entitled to some raise. Any investigation for embezzlement should be covert as long as possible prior to confronting the people stealing the money. That way you can get a sense for the depth of the fraud, you can get a sense for who all is involved, and you're not tipping your hand to people who you don't think are involved who may actually be involved. In the meantime, you want to secure your remaining assets, make sure that your bank accounts are secure, your inventory is secure, try to identify where the diverted assets are. Remember that law enforcement, prosecutors have a certain appetite for this. If you bring a potential fraud to the police department in your area, they're probably not going to jump on it because the thresholds for prosecution are very, very high. Sometimes there's several $100,000 before they're interested, unless you bring it to them pre-investigated, on a silver platter, all the evidence, everything documented by a licensed third-party investigative agency, not hearsay with inside your company. A private investigation is between you and the investigator. It's protected by law, so you can disclose it when, where, and how you want to outside of your company. If you want more information about investigating potential fraud or embezzlement in your company, you can reach us at our website, afxsearch.com.